On November 19th, reports leaked stating that the United States and Russia had begun negotiations to end the war with Ukraine. Since then, the negotiations have been ongoing. Maria, what are the main sources of tension between Russia, Europe, and Ukraine?
So the main source of tensions between Russia, Ukraine, and Europe involved Russia's revisionist intent, and not just as basically occupying parts of Ukraine and sustaining leverage over Ukraine's domestic political process with an effort to make sure that Ukraine remains within quote-unquote Russia's spheres of influence and limits its cooperation with the West. But also, Russia is actually a revisionist power aimed very actively at revising the international security order as we know it, and that primarily concerns European security. We know that before Putin invaded Ukraine in 2022, he asked that NATO goes back to its 1997 borders, basically, for NATO to withdraw to where it was at the time of the Soviet Union collapse. None of that obviously is acceptable for Europe, and it's also not acceptable to the United States, even if under the Donald Trump administration, the United States has taken a more flexible position, trying to find some common ground between Russia and Ukraine.
What role is the United States playing in this process?
The US has taken a more neutral position, trying to find some common ground between Russia and Ukraine, but since it's probably round 4 of attempted peace negotiations since Donald Trump assumed office over the last 9 months, and pretty much every single time those leads to irresolvable disagreements between both parties, primarily because Russia retains its aggressive intent against Ukraine. As I mentioned before, it demands that Ukraine sees it abandons at least 25% of its unoccupied territory of Donetsk region. None of that actually leaves us a lot of hope for successful negotiation. It seems that the US side was primarily interested in the peace, but it also shifted from regional demands that both parties just achieve immediate ceasefire. But in Alaska, Donald Trump shifted to now demanding that both parties kind of agree on this long-term peace agreement. But unfortunately, for the reasons I described, it's very unlikely that this agreement will be negotiated anytime soon.